About 2 months ago, I reviewed the M4 13-inch iPad with the NANO Texture screen, this iPad right here, and basically I recommended it if you can afford it and you're a serious artist because the screen is so good. I'm gonna go through now. I've had it for about 2 months. I use it every day, an hour or two every day, so it's got a fair amount of use, and I thought it'd be good to let you know if I've had any problems with it, and do I still recommend it, and is it worth the extra cost? I've had a couple of problems since I bought it, but nothing that important, and we can go through those and I can explain what went wrong. The first one is charging. This is kind of my fault. I use this USB charging cable here, and when the iPad got hot and I started drawing anything here, the palm rejection didn't work, and it kept on moving the screen and making marks where my palm was doing this. As you can see, it doesn't do it now. It's not plugged in, and even if I plug it in now, it needs to get hot, so it'd take a while. The problem was I was using a non-Apple plug at the other side, so it was just an Anchor or something like that. I'm not sure what it was, but it really didn't play well with the palm rejection. And after a lot of Googling, it's to do with the electricity or the amount of voltage or something like that. I don't really know. But as soon as I worked that out, I started messing with the cables. I bought a very expensive Apple cable, the official white one. And that didn't actually fix it because I plugged it straight into that Anchor plug again and it still didn't work. So that was annoying because that cable is very expensive and pointless. So I started messing around, and I do have the official plug. I'm not sure it came with this, but I have another plug, and it went away. So it's not the cable, it was the plug. So I bought another one of these. It's the official one. Overly expensive again, but I've got a couple of these now, and the palm rejection works perfect, and it doesn't get too hot, and yeah, so that problem is solved. So the next problem I had was, maybe this doesn't apply to many of you, but when I record, so obviously I record these videos a lot with my iPad, and I've recorded me painting pretty much all of these on this one, and usually I use my Sony cameras. This is an FX30, I got an A7 IV, and I use them on manual settings. And for anybody who has used those before, I set the shutter speed to 1/50 or something like that, and then no problems. But I have an iPhone 15 Pro, and if I record using that on the default settings with the generic camera app, you get these lines, these banding lines over the screen, and it looks really bad. I'll clip one of those recordings now so you can see it, and it looks really bad. Most of the time I don't use my iPhone, so it's not a problem. But sometimes when I do want to do a quick short or something, it's much easier just to use my phone and upload it to YouTube Shorts or Instagram or whatever. And that made it almost impossible. A lot of Googling, we found the problem is, well, I mentioned because I use my Sonys and it's all on manual, I assumed it's a problem with shutter speed, and it is. If you use a different camera app on your iPhone, like Blackmagic film app, you have to set your shutter speed to something like 1/50, 1/40, and it's very fussy. If it's too slow or too fast, you get those lines again. So not the end of the world, but it's a bit annoying. You can't use the default camera app. I don't have the Sony 16 or 16 Pro, so I don't know if maybe it's fixed. One thing to mention, it's not this iPad in particular, because I've seen some other guy had a problem with the non-nano textured screen, so it's just the M4s in general, I think. So they must have changed the Pros, probably they changed the refresh rate, and that's probably what's doing it. So not a big deal. I use my Sonys most of the time anyway, and you can use the different camera app to fix it. I'm surprised Apple didn't notice this and tweak the camera app or something, because surely they've tried recording their iPads with their own iPhones, so that's a bit strange. But it doesn't always do it. Depending on the camera angle, you don't get the lines, so I don't know why Apple didn't notice it. That's a bit crap, to be honest, but again, not the end of the world. So other than that, I haven't had any real problems. One concern I had when I did the review, which I'll link down in the description if you haven't seen it, was does the screen scratch over time? Now, I've only had this 6 months or maybe 2 months. Sorry, not 6 months, 2 months. And so it's maybe not long enough. Obviously we want 6 months or 2 years or whatever to know for sure. But I can say that the screen is basically perfect. Well, I wouldn't say basically perfect. It is perfect. I haven't dropped it or anything, so I'm reasonably careful, but not overly careful. But I try not to get it near anything stupid like keys or whatever. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying to angle the screen on the bright light I got above, and it does get a bit smudgy, but not too bad. And use the screen. I don't clean it very often, the cloth, but you can see if there's any marks, they are basically just smudges and they all come straight off. So the screen is perfect, absolutely perfect. And that was the main concern. So do I still recommend it? I stick to my main points that I had last time. If you can afford it, it's very, very expensive. So of course that is dependent on how much money you have and how much you use it. But there's no way I would trade this in. So that's kind of my review. Is if I had to go back to the glossy screen, I'd be pretty annoyed, to be honest. And I hope they stick with these, because I really don't want to go back to the matte screen protectors. They're totally fine and you'll get away with it and it'll still be great. But these are just a level above. It's a pity they put the huge amount of money step up from the other one. And if they get cheaper, I'm pretty sure everybody will buy them. But they love making money, don't they? So it is what it is. So I hope this helps. Maybe I'll do another one in 6 months and just make sure nothing's gone wrong. Or just assume if I don't do another one, it's still fine and there's nothing wrong with it. And if something happens, I can make another video and let you know. But I'm sure the internet will go crazy if people have issues. Although I don't think they've sold many of these because you don't see much information about them. But if this is helpful, give me a sub and a like. It helps a lot. And I'll see how it goes and see you in the next one. Thank you.